Right, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Qudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles and great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakathum. Title of this lesson is going to be America is stuck in a doom loop. All right. All right. The doom loop of America. All right. Now, basically what a doom loop is is when you go through these periods and cycles, all right, of destruction, all right, and death essentially. Now, there's a video I saw a while ago that societies will go through these things called cyclums. I believe it's called, like an old Latin term. But essentially that means every 80 years or so, it goes through a major war or crisis of some sort. And when you pair up America, all right, and its history, you know, and all of the major wars that it's had, we're pretty much at another cycle where this thing is getting ready to go down, all right? Because 80 years ago, you had World War II, roughly paraphrasing, roughly give or take 80 years. And then before that, 80 years before that, you had the American Civil War, man. All right. And you know, roughly 80 years before the American Civil War, you had the Revolutionary War. All right. So the foundation, which is 1776, you know, and so basically America is stuck, man. All right. And when you read the scriptures, all right, you see the scriptures speak about the children of Israel, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. It says your iniquity is accomplished. All right. When you read Lamentations, I will no more bring you, I will return back your captivity, basically. In other words, this is going to be our last captivity. So while these people, all right, are stuck in a loop, in which we were part of that loop until, you know, pursuing Ezekiel 37, those dry bones lived again, all right? And instead of us being stuck in that loop, the Lord is going to preserve us and is going to save the elect out of it, man. That's what Jacob's trouble is all about. All right. The Lord is gonna look out for his anointed, man. All right. And we strive to be, you know, a part of that number. So lock it daily, man. Because what's gonna happen is America's gonna go down in the most horrific way possible, man. All right, and you look at it, every war increasingly got worse and worse and worse. There was more death and more death and more death, man. All right, the Civil War had more death and chaos than the Revolutionary War. All right, World War II had more death and destruction than the Civil War. All right, and it's just a matter of numbers and math, because the population has been steadily growing. All right. And so what's going to happen this time? It's not going to be 80 million people that die, all right, like it was in World War II, man. It's going to be closer to 800 million, man, you know, in just the war. And then you're going to have all of the plague that's going to fuck people up, okay? So we're looking at basically billions of people dying, man, all right? Now, there's going to be plenty of people left over after Yahweh Shai's return and the kingdom is set up. All right, ultimately, this thing is in a doom loop, man. And you can see many loops and many cycles of this thing going down too, like on the financial front, man. All right, you have these cycles of booms and busts, all right, where, you know, the stock market is doing really well or the economy is doing really well, and then it crashes and it goes down, man. All of these various cycles are all coinciding at one time, you know. That's why we know when this thing cracks, it's gonna crack, man. All right. and it ain't coming back. Not the rhyme, but that's why we look at when we read the scriptures and we look at astrological events like this eclipse coming up, man. This is why we get excited over these things, man, because we know the Lord foretells things through his men, but he also puts signs in the heavens as well, man, to foretell things, and the Lord put 2 eclipses exactly 7 years apart. Not exactly, but roughly 7 years apart from one another. All right, that makes a big X across America, man. So this is about to be the final doom cycle for America, and this doom cycle is gonna fuck everybody up. Everybody that's on American soil, when this whole thing pops off, are gonna be completely destroyed, man. Absolutely destroyed, burnt up. All right. The scroll, the heavens rolled together as a scroll, as the scriptures say. What does that mean? That means the Lord is gonna roast everything down in America to the foundations of this place, man. All right, it's gonna be so bad, the entire earth is gonna move out of its place, man. All right, and then once we get set up in the kingdom, we're not gonna have doom loops anymore, man. All right, because you're not gonna have this back and forth of Jake ruling and Esau ruling, and then Jake ruling and Esau ruling. All right, it's gonna be an establishment of righteousness, man. The order of Melchizedek, that marriage is gonna be consummated. All right. And we're going to be fully in this thing. All right. Now, the heathen are going to have their problems, but their problems are going to all stem from being rebellious to us, man. And basically, being poor and starving and all, that's going to be a choice in the kingdom for these heathen, man. All right. You're not going to be wondering about what crop is good for you and what things to eat and what not to eat and what time should you do this and do that and what language and how to run a household. You're not gonna have to wonder about any of those things. You're gonna know, as the scripture said, we're gonna be a light unto the Gentiles. That light is gonna be us perfectly keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and keeping order, man. All right. So we're gonna be the de facto leaders of the earth, man. All right. And that's a thing that should excite you, man. And that should scare a lot of the people that have hitched their wagons to Esau, Edom, man. To them thinking that this is just another cycle. We just gotta go through a rough patch. No, man. The Lord didn't say this is gonna be a rough patch. All right, because we measured the time. The scriptures say that in 2nd Esdras, measured thou the time diligently in and of itself. All right, and we've measured the time, and we've told you and broken down that this is the 12th part, man. This is the end of the 12th part. What does that mean? That means there ain't gonna be no more fucking ages of things going up and down, man. This is the final one. All right. You had the age of Adam, man. Well, he ruled for 1,000 years and he went down. All right. And then you came out, and then a bunch of Hamites were basically ruling through Nimrod in Egypt. All right. And you had other sons of Shem rule. You had the Assyrians. Every nation basically had their chances to rule, man, over the years. All right. But this thing, the Lord is straight up gonna break the cycle, man. All right. The scriptures say He's gonna destroy the covering cast over all people. All right. This thing is not a coincidence, man. All right. And when you watch and read the news, basically, and you study history, you can see, what I'm talking about. All right. So this thing is not something that's meant for the elect. All right. Just like I said that in Esdras, the famine, the sword, teeth of wild beasts. These are scourges for amendment. Which means these are so people can correct themselves. But we know these people are not going to correct themselves. They're going to continue in their wickedness. But it's not meant for the elect is the point. We're gonna escape said doom loop. All right. These people are going through the motions, man. They're praying for inflation to go back down. It's not going back down, man. Esau may offer you some goodies, but he's already broken everything, man. All right. You've been shoved off a cliff. All right, you're scrambling in the air like Wile E. Coyote. You know, like you're running in the air for a second, but you're gonna fall, man. There's no the damage is irreversible here, man. All right. So this thing is gonna happen, and the only thing that's gonna preserve you is if you're a man of the Lord, or you're of that man's family, of his household. All right. That the Most High, you know, have mercy upon. You know. So there's not gonna be any independent women. All right, making it on their own. There's not going to be any carnal men making it on their own. All right, if you're in the spirit of carnality, then you're going to get dealt with carnally, man. And that's just how that's going to go, you know. But that's basically the main point, man. Is America is in a cycle of of death and destruction, and we are to come out of it, man. We're not to be caught into this, man. All right. Anyway, I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachak Wadash. Shalom.